A pleasant good morning to, of course, our guests and our moderator, and you, the audience, who have been so responsive to be with us as part of the studio audience. The first time in our operations at the Ministry of Sport and Community Development Division, TT Voices Initiative. We welcome you to be part of today's presentation. It's important to get a context of this particular program. What we've noted that though agencies and programs and plans are there in terms of the government space and general information, the Community Development Division thought it necessary to bring the information closer home. And so today is part of what is known as the TT Community Voices Initiative, where we choose to bring awareness and sensitization on various topics of interest. Today in question, we'll be looking at the issue of community businesses and celebrating business and promoting the involvement in business, where we could all make a forward contribution to a national scope. And we trust that before the day is through, if you are involved in business, it will be a push to continue. And if you are not, it may be an opportunity to move forward in business venture. Today we have a panel who are ready to share their experiences with you in moving forward. And of course, to be steered positively with our moderator. It's my privilege to hand over this segment of the activity to Ms. Whitney Husband. She is the moderator, a very familiar face, I believe, for all of us. And she will be taking us through the conversation today. Ladies and gentlemen, over to Ms. Husband and the panel. I thank you.
Good morning to everyone. We'd like to welcome you to the TT Community Voices at this time. This theme this morning is all about exploring entrepreneurship and celebrating community business. And what does that mean? We're going to define that today. Many of us will be in positions where you may want to start a business, or you have a business and you're not seeing it becoming successful in the way that you want it to be, and you feel like you're against a brick wall and you may want to stop. That does not mean you're supposed to stop. Maybe you need to tweak certain things to make the business successful. Entrepreneurs are some of the greatest minds in any economy, and with that, you'll have the expertise of our esteemed panelists here to discuss more and some of the challenges, because we're going to keep it totally real and 100, because with every successful business, you will have challenges, and how you get over those hurdles to make sure that business remains successful. So at this time, in no particular order, we would like to welcome our esteemed panelists, and I will start off with Sophia Ramdath. With us this morning, Sophia Ramdath is the founder and owner of two successful businesses, Sophia's Royal Touch Makeup Artistry and Safi's Mini Bites Catering Company, and a full-time entrepreneur who has developed strategies of multiple streams of income using her God-given gifts and talents. Sophia, a true spirited creative and entrepreneur, began strategizing ways to make her own money from the tender age of 16 on a part-time basis. While attending secondary school, she braided hair for her friends who paid her whatever they could afford. Sophia became a teenage mom at the age of 17, and through that experience, she developed the drive and ambition to do whatever it was legally necessary to provide for her daughter. This encouraged her to establish a part-time food business, providing burgers in the evenings and lunches on weekends, while working full-time as an administrative assistant in the corporate industry. Throughout the years, Sophia continued gaining experience in the corporate sector and explored her options by venturing into different entrepreneurial opportunities. She furthered her education, obtaining multiple certificates in makeup artistry and cosmetology from various institutions throughout Trinidad and Tobago, including the Ministry of Sport and Community Development Skills Training Program. She also obtained certificates in culinary arts and education, a certificate in accounting from ACT Institute, a certificate in teaching, training, and assessment learning from the City and Guilds of London Institute, and a certificate in radio broadcasting from the Institute of Broadcasting Careers IBC. She has moved ahead steadily and consistently, establishing herself as a career-driven individual and is currently in her second year of studying for her Bachelor of Science degree in Entrepreneurship. Sophia strongly believes in the economic and social implications of business and understands the value of sustainability for personal growth and survival. She's a firm believer that God gives us the power to get wealth, and we cannot fully experience the benefits of using our gifts and blessings, nor find our purpose on our own unless we submit ourselves to the grace of God. That is the core strategy and answer to many of the problems plaguing the world, including poverty and societal issues today. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Sophia Ramda. Next, we have Anisha Grant Morin. Is a dedicated business manager of the Netco Central branch, bringing over 15 years of expertise in micro and small enterprise development. Her extensive experience in centered on nurturing the growth and sustainability of startups and established businesses by providing tailored support and resources essential for their success. Throughout her career, Anisha has been deeply involved in helping startups and existing businesses navigate the complexities of enterprise development. She specializes in delivering business financing solutions and business assessments. A hands-on approach ensures that each business receives customized support designed to meet their specific challenges and opportunities. Anisha holds an MBA in Business Administration, which underpins her strategic approach to micro-enterprise development. Her academic background combined with the practical experience enables her to offer valuable insights and innovative solutions that drive business growth. At Netco, Anisha's mission is to enhance the capabilities of micro and small enterprises, helping them achieve long-term viability and success. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Ms. Anisha Grant Morin. Kanika Baldio. For the last 5 years, as part of the Research and Opportunity Unit in the recently rebranded Trinidad and Tobago Trade and Investment Promotion Agency, Kanika Baldio has assisted dozens of exporters and potential exporters in attaining market intelligence, which help to guide their business decisions. These activities include leading several market survey projects and participating in trade missions, trade shows in Guyana, Jamaica, and Panama. Currently, as the acting manager of this unit, she is lending guidance to other trade promotion activities with the aim of supporting TNT exporters in expanding to new markets, including the upcoming America's Food and Beverage Trade Show in Miami later this month. As part of the event, Kanika will be sharing insights on exporting and trade promotion, as well as steps to export success. Kanika is a graduate of the University of the West Indies St. Augustine campus with both Bachelor's of Science degree in International Relations and a Master's degree in Global Studies. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Kanika Baldio. And finally, we'd like to welcome Sherian Bisnath. She would like to thank you for the opportunity to introduce herself and by extension her company to you. She's a director of Radical Trading Company Limited. Alongside her, her father, Mr. Bisnath, they both steer this amazing ship called Radical Trading Company Limited. They have been around for the past 50 years, which is an amazing milestone for any company in this time and age. She has been active in the company for most parts of 46 years. The time that she was away, it was to complete her schooling in Miami, Florida. After completing her studies in 1996, she moved back to Trinidad, where she started to be groomed by her dad to take over the company one day. In 2005, her mother, Mrs. Bisnath Radhika, died a sudden death which devastated the entire family, but it also made them stronger and even more determined to become bigger and better to fulfill her desire. In 2006, she welcomed her first son, Arjun. In 2008, she welcomed her second son, Akash. Even with all the challenges in recent times with COVID 19, the Forex, and so many retrenchments and layoffs by many major companies, they have been able to remain standing against these challenges. Radica Trading has been a household name for many Trinbagonians as well as many small islanders. They at Radica intend to always bring the best quality, innovations, and competitive prices for their product. Ms. Bisnath is also grateful for the opportunity once more to proudly represent a company that started from the pavement of Shogunas Market to being acknowledged and respected as the largest upholstery company in Trinidad and Tobago, also the Caribbean. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Ms. Sherian Bisnath. So since we introduced, all the accolades and experience that I am going to be a little bit bossy here this morning. This is an all-female panelist that we're sitting here. Please put your hands together for that. Gentlemen, don't feel away. Don't feel away. It's just really nice to see and see the accomplishments of our females in Trinidad and Tobago. I will start off with Ms. Bisnath. And I want to know, being a director in such a successful and major company like Radica Trading, what is that like? As a female? Let's start there.
It could be challenging. Also, I am very young, so a lot of people look at me like, "You sure you know what you're doing?" It's very challenging because when we go to certain meetings, or I go to certain meetings to represent the company, it's mostly male. We have in the banking sector, it's mostly males. Most of our suppliers are also male because of the industry that we're in. But the most important thing is once you know what you're talking about, once you know what you're doing, you have your head on, um, it's pretty easy. It is challenging to be young in the business as well, but I have been groomed throughout my entire life, like from birth, literally. Our discussions are always about business. Our discussions are always about the world, what is happening in the world, what we could do better, or what my opinions are. My father, he always taught us about business, and he always taught us about how we can represent ourselves better. And that is always a discussion. And it helped me now that I am actually sitting in the chair. So I am not intimidated in any way.
Well, I can hear that.
Yes, I am not intimidated. I make sure that I cover all my grounds, and I make sure that I have everything that I need before I go into a meeting or before I do anything. I've just been groomed.
Yes. Now, using the word,
Yes.
how did that work, especially as a young child? Because did you see yourself in, or is it that you had other, things you wanted to attain and you tried to balance, but you realized it was just
Yes. I actually wanted to be a lawyer from the very get-go. I wanted to be a lawyer. I told my dad this from the get-go. I wanted to be a lawyer. I'm going to study to be a lawyer. But it all came back to this. I did study to become a lawyer as well, but I didn't go and actually do the bar because that is something I wanted to do. And also, this has helped me forward. It has brought a brave, a little more of a, confidence in me. And my dad, he always taught us that. He always taught us how to be confident, how to portray yourself, But it always came back to the family business because it's so dear to all of us. It is literally from nothing. My dad came to Trinidad with $5 from Guyana. And from there, that is where everything grew. My parents was very, very poor. Like my father, you know, it's a joke we have. He say it's called Piper Pilau. That's what he used to eat on the roads, which is a pack of biscuits and a juice or whatever it is. And that is what he would make sure he would do when the day reached. That would be his lunch or his breakfast, his dinner, whatever it is, to get back home because he has to make sure he makes a profit when he goes out there. And all of that is what is instilled in us. All of that is what is taught to us the hard times to make sure that you appreciate what you have now
So obviously, you instill that what every single day,
every single day.
regardless of need.
Correct.
So what exactly does Radical Trading do? What are you all offering? Not just in Trinidad, but in the region.
Correct. So, like my father likes to say, we are cut, staple, stitch. These are some of the things measure. We work with inches, meters, feet. And we do upholstery. Upholstery is something not a lot of people understand exactly what it is. But the chairs that you all are sitting on, those are the fabrics. That is all the things except the actual metal part is what we supply. All of these things here is what we supply for people now who goes into CEP program in the community development program and they learn upholstery. So that is what we supply. So when you come out of that program, we have everything for you to upholster boats, cars, offices, couches in your home. We have also branched out into a couple different things. Banner material, so all the material that you see that the posters and banners on the side of the highways, all of that we do as well. Just the material, we sell it, and now the printers, whoever buy it from us, we try to be competitive as well. We went into tents. So all the tents that you see, most of the material would have come from us. Okay. The pipes that hold up the tent, all of those things, all the little fixings inside of it, we sell everything. So we try to be, well, we are in not the manufacturers, but we only deal with manufacturers. Manufacturers that do couches for courts, standards, all of them. This is what we contribute back because it is a niche business. It's not a business that every and anybody could go and open. It's something that is we have done so many research over the last 50 years and brought it to where it is right now in the Caribbean.
This is mind-blowing because I want to then pass this to Anisha because with Netco. And as Sharon was saying, that it is a niche market. And you have to many times probably so many persons doing the same thing and don't want to venture into it. And I always have this saying that if you go into a grocery and you go in the aisle of bread, how many different brands of bread it have? There's a lot, right? So where are we now? Because in this case, her dad made a wise decision realizing that persons needed this than going to import these items to get it right here. And you don't have anyone doing it. So that is her dad was quick on the when it comes to that. But where are we with that along with persons who are also in a business where it's actually, as people say, which I hate to say, because we have enough persons to purchase items, type of product, and what service you give. So where are we with that?
Well, with Netco, I have seen you can have many different businesses, but you have to be able to differentiate yourself and market yourself, especially in the age of business where we have AI and digital marketing. You need to market yourself, use the resources that are out there. You have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have marketing via WhatsApp, you can put up billboards. You just need to differentiate yourself, see what you are offering that is different from the persons that are out there. Because if you have, sometimes you go on the road, you see 3 mini marts, 4 mini marts, but each mini mart offers something different. So you have to decide what you have to offer that is different from the other person, and you'll have something different that can draw people onto you. But to me, in this age, is market yourself and show what is your niche, show what is your potential, what is the good about your business, even though there are 100 other persons selling the same thing. And there are always buyers, there are many buyers. But in this age, market and try to find what is your special thing about your business that you can promote to showcase that you are different from everyone else.
So let's speak about Netco. What product services?
Okay,
offered to
Netco, well,
the
Netco stands for National Entrepreneurship Development Company Limited. We were established to support the entrepreneur. So from startup to growth to expansion, we are here to help. We offer three main products and services, which is financial services through loans. We provide funding for any aspect of your business. So you have a business idea you want to start up, we can help you with funding via loan. If you want to expand your business, we are here. If you want to go into a new product and service, we can offer that funding for you. Our loans, we give loans for stock, infrastructural works. If you want to purchase a maxi and taxi, we have maxi and taxi loans. We also have a CNG loan package where if you have a business vehicle and you want to save and be more fuel efficient, we have a CNG loan as well. The second service we offer is business advice. So we have qualified business advisors. So you may have a business idea and you don't know where to go. You can make an appointment with one of our business advisors and they would give you the guidance that you need to know what steps you need to take to get your business from idea to fruition. Even if you're an existing business and you may have problems in that business, you can seek our business advisors and they will help you. They also help you with networking and mentorship because we have other persons who are experienced in the field. We can help you network and align you with a mentor who can give you the guidance that you need. We also offer training and webinars and workshops. So each month we have training programs that we offer online. Some of the training programs are record keeping and cash management, know your taxes, how to market your SMEs. We also, if you have a group, we can also do a workshop for your group where we can provide one-on-one training for your group. We have webinars that we host as well. So those are the three main services that we offer. Right now, we're also having also giving a grant, which the Ministry of Youth is using us to issue. So you can look forward to that. You can check out our website, which is www.netco.gov.tt, and you'll get additional information.
Okay, so when it comes to persons who may already have a business and it is not registered, is that a major concern for persons? Because anyone could start, I could decide, I'm just saying, if I have a space and this is my house, and right out there I want to start a business selling snacks, and I name it Whitney's Snack Stop, but it's not registered.
Right.
Would that affect my business in the long run?
Yes, it would. To do any financial business in Trinidad and Tobago, you need to be registered. Being registered protects you, it protects your business, it protects your business idea, it protects your brand because now you are a legal entity. Being registered, even to open a business bank account with any financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago, you have to be registered. You can register as a sole trader, you can register as a company or even a partnership. To open a business account, I would advise because it separates you, your personal income and expenses from your business income and expenses. It also creates credibility and trustworthiness because now if you have to deal with suppliers, if you have to get any other financial resource, you are registered and it is required. For Netco, to get a loan from us, you have to be registered. To access any grant funding, whether it's private or government in Trinidad and Tobago, you have to be registered. So you may start up, but it is to protect you, it's to protect your business and your brand. Right? So it's my advice, if you have a business, you're seeking to start a business, register. The simplest form of registration you can do is a sole trader, which is you and your business.
Yeah. Now, I will pose this question to Kanika, and I know you deal with the export TT. And we have so many talented persons in Trinidad when it comes to, I mean, we have the best hand, when I say in the world, when it comes to food and making some of the best sweets and delicacies and you name it, even just crafting items, clothing, from things that we could use at home. But we are still, when I say, I don't even use the word stock, but we are still here in Trinidad trying to expand. but you want to get it outside. Your product, your ideas that you sat on and you were dreaming about, and your palms were sweaty every time you think about it, and it came to life. But you want more persons to see it outside of Trinidad and Tobago. Where do we start?
All right. So just to give you a little bit of a background on Export TT. So we recently rebranded. So we are the Trade and Investment Promotion Agency. It's a little bit of a mouthful, so we're working on a new name.
Rhyming, yeah.
So our services under the Export Division, we provide market research, we provide training. So for companies who are looking to expand, I would suggest that you could come to us. You could engage in our training programs. We are quite actually familiar with Netco. We work very closely with them. And we do have similar program offerings as well. But it's a little bit more geared towards just the exporting arena. So you come to us for advice. We are happy to assist you at any level, really.
Yes. So I want to tie this in for both of you then. How were you able, Sharian, to get your items with the family business to move overseas in a way? I'm not sure if you were able to connect, or even now, with the, I can't say Export TT anymore. I'll have to leave it for now.
Yeah.
Okay. Export TT, are you able to work with them, or you were able to find partners or build relationships, I should say, to get your items out there?
So when we started, we didn't have social media and all those things back in those days. So we had our upholsterers that would come to us, and they would have families. And when you hear about our business, and our business being something that you could use your hands and you can make, and you can upholster, you could fix something, and not a lot of people knows this. So instead of throwing away old stuff, they say, oh, we want to upholster a couch that we had, or a living room set that we had. And let's say they have family in St. Lucia and they're just chit-chatting and they're like, we have a company here and we could buy that stuff, and here's what, I could ship it to you. So back in those days, that was our social media. Our social media was family and friends would tell one another who lives abroad, who lives in a different island, whatever the case is. And then, they also do programs like this as well in the Caribbean, Grenada, Barbados, all these different countries. They have the upholstering classes. So when they start that now, it doesn't have much in the other islands, which we have visited before. Jamaica is actually one of the only islands that have larger stores because they have a lot of, hotels and all these different things. But when we started off, it was friends and family, and then now we have social media. So we really don't use Export TT because these are people who are coming directly to us. They're on our websites, they're on our TikToks, they're on Instagram.
So it's like a direct.
Correct. It's more direct with us. And then over the years, shipping to the different islands, we have designated a particular store to do all the exports. So they deal with all the ships and they deal with what goes out, what dates it go out. So when we do talk to customers and they say, okay, well, they're from Grenada or they're from they're from Barbados or wherever, we say, okay, well, the ships leave on these days. What would you like? And then, wonderful, now we have direct deposit. So you don't have to wait anymore. Yeah, you just, send over your deposit, send over what you need, and everything is done. So that's how we do it, but now it got easier with
technology. Well, social media and technology,
media.
yes.
Correct, yeah.
So, Sophia, you are placed in a position where many persons may want to start, which is becoming an entrepreneur full time. This is not, you have an 8 to 4, and then I'm doing this on the side, which is my business on the side. It is removing the fear and then saying, yeah, I'm a businesswoman and I'm doing this. How did you start that? Removing that fear and believing in yourself.
Well, I always had the, good morning again, everyone.
Morning.
I always had that drive for more. Now, I came from a single parent home, and I didn't come from that entrepreneurship background. However, I always had this, we call it ambition, right? It's ambition. But I didn't realize how much ambition it was until now. But I always yearned for more. And when I looked at society today, even back then, I saw where my mother would have struggled to make ends meet because she had 4 children and being a single parent. And then I became a single parent. And I did not want to see myself reinventing that wheel and reliving what I would have gone through. Now, in all honesty, being a single parent is a struggle. But I think it comes back down to the commitment that you pour into whatever you are doing and the consistency. And it started off part-time because I worked in the corporate field. But out of the pandemic is where I became a full-blown entrepreneur. And it's not that I never had fear to do anything. I trust in God, and I trust that wherever He leads me, I would follow. However, it also allowed me to realize that this has a lot of opportunities in it, as long as you see the bigger picture. Now, having an 8 to 4, you have a sure salary at the end of the week, at the end of the fortnight, at the end of the month. Being an entrepreneur, it's not as consistent. And I had to prepare myself mentally for what I am getting myself into. Now, I love nice things. I love shopping. I love looking, I love taking care of myself. But when you're an entrepreneur, you have to do things in moderation and understanding that life now, it's on a full-time budget. You also have to take whatever profit that you make and not just spend it on all the lavish things, but invest it back into your business in order to see your business grow. So it wasn't so much of a fear, but it was just me developing the confidence that is needed to really walk this road.
Now, you wear many hats. And with the CP skill sets that you have, you are now training others and nourishing their minds to do what you're doing or even whatever they desire in that moment. Because I know many times persons may switch. They're not sure. Maybe I could do this here and I'm interested, and then you lose interest all of a sudden, and then a spark lights up for something else. Where did you realize that you were able to teach others to follow their dreams and become successful in their fields?
Now, I teach makeup artistry, cosmetology, skincare along that line on the skills training program. When I got married, even though I was working, I still felt a bit like domesticated, let me say that, right? And it was good at the first year or so, but I still wanted more. And thankfully, with the support of wanting more, the support was there. There was an understanding where I still want to be independent in my marriage. And with doing that, I was able to venture into the skills training program as a tutor. Now, I did cosmetology at Capichima Senior.
Okay.
And coming out of that, I continued doing courses, etc. And even though I am skilled with hair, I'm skilled with nails, I'm skilled with all these other things under the umbrella of cosmetology, the beauty industry, makeup artistry was the one that stuck, right? And when I developed the training from that, I was able to land in the position where I could have shared my knowledge with students. So when I teach now, I don't just teach the fundamentals of makeup artistry or skincare or whatever is required of me, but I also help them prepare themselves and motivate them in coming into the industry as a business owner. A lot of the women and men, because I have male students as well, they come into the program, most of them, like 90% of them, not knowing what it is they want to do. They just see a course and they say, you know what, I have some time, let me do this course. And after doing the training and completing the program and instilling the different aspects that I would add to my syllabus to help students, they are now encouraged to be a part of this whole field of entrepreneurship. And I can say that there's a lot of success stories coming out of the skills training program, out of the class today, where I still remain connected. I've been teaching for the last, I think it's 10 years, either 9 or 10 years. I lost count consistently for the last 9 or 10 years. And, it's really, really mind-blowing to see how much the program has been such a benefit, not just for me, but for students that came on board.
Now, I want to find out from you where you mentioned your family and domestication of the woman that many times, in 2024 now, look at the panel here. It's females who are in positions that many times we will see men sitting at. And we will hear where men are complaining that we are not having the women home doing the duties that they should. You hear? Right? Yeah, somebody might they're just right because they realize so many females in here, but no. All jokes aside, how are you able to balance that? Because we still have to, as they say, stay in touch with our feminine energy, like they always use that word now. That is like a go-to word. And not really seeing that we could bring a balance. But where are you with that balance in your home and your business?
Honestly, to me, it feels like a breeze because it happens so naturally. I know what my responsibilities are. And my life is surrounded by my family and my business. I have made that conscious decision that I don't really need because I take full advantage of spending as much time as possible with my family because my schedule is so busy. Having that extra social life, to me, no longer serves an interest. And I think because I would have started life young. So I did all the social activities, I did all the partying, I did all the everything when I was younger. Now that I know what can make or break a family, I would try my best to do the opposite. And what also helps is that I involve my family in what I'm doing. So I would take my kids on jobs with me. They would be there, seeing what I'm doing. And with doing that, I'm able to create a balance with including them. That's the benefits of being an entrepreneur. You have that flexibility of having your family involved with you so that it wouldn't be much of a burden. Now at home, I'm able to schedule the cooking, the cleaning. I'm a late cleaner. So I am that type of person who would clean my home, do laundry, all these things, mostly in the evening at night when everybody pats down, and it has been working for me, and with the support from my spouse and my children, being involved, it makes the job a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anissa, feel free to let us know how you balance because I want to ask all the females.
Well, I have 2 kids. I live at South, I live at Faisabad, and I work at Central. So it's difficult, but you have to know how to prioritize and what is important to you. So when you're at work, you carve out your work time, you carve out your family time. Make sure that you have a balance, because if that scale tips, there would be chaos. So I have my work time, I have my family time, I spend with my kids, so we do everything on our weekend, and kids, we have other activities. So aside from school, there's football, there's dance, so it's difficult. But if you have a love for what you do, you have a love for your family, you would find that balance to do it all. It's tiring, but it is fulfilling. So you do, as a business manager, I love helping entrepreneurs. I love helping people with business. So it's not a bother to me. I love what I do at work, and I make sure I carve out that personal time so I can spend with the family. When I reach home in the evening, work is aside, kids' homework, how are your days going, carry them to the activities, do what I have to do, cook, prepare for the next day. To make sure you prioritize and you put things in order, so you will be able to be successful as a woman, being an entrepreneur or even being a professional woman.
Tanika, what about you?
Well, no kids as yet. One husband.
One husband.
But yes,
He said one. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Until you're taking my last name.
it is a bit of a balancing act because I live in San Fernando and I work in Port of Spain. So
The
my
traffic
hours
is
are
really-
intense. I leave in the night, basically, like early morning, and then I reach back in the night. So it's hard to balance it, but like Anisha said, seeing the businesses grow, seeing them develop, it makes it all worth it when you see those export successes.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you're the only one that you don't have children, thus far from what you said to me. How are you able to make sure and manage that time with your husband? Because many times we see powerful women like you all who hold certain positions. They may not have a man, but you all have husbands. Or you may have a man. I'm just saying. No, I mean this is what is it is. This is the reality of it.
Yes.
And they think that you choose not to do that. But where is it that the spouse that you may have understands what how are you all dealing with that and seeing the time difference? I don't know what time he works or if he's home before you, and how is it balancing off?
Yeah. Well, he gets to work from home, so he's very lucky in that. But I'll just wave by in the morning. But I think we try to carve out that time for each other. We try to prioritize vacations as well, where you just completely lock off from work at that point and focus on each other and focus on building the relationship. And on weekends as well, I don't look at my computer. I try not to answer any calls as well, unless
Sure,
it's like,
what you do, like,
I know,
this is
when
me.
you're,
I can't live without it.
yeah, when you're running a business, it's a bit different. But
Yeah.
in the week, I give my focus to my clients, and weekends and vacation time, husband. Family.
Sherry Ann, you're sitting as a director. So I mean, time.
Yeah.
I really want to know how you're dealing with this and still looking. I mean, you're feminine, as we say, the energy is there, but there's a lot on your plate.
Yes, I have a lot on my plate. One of the good things is I work with my dad. So family time is every day, 7 days a week is family time. We have a lot of employees that are also my family. Because it all started from there where when we were very small, a lot of my moms, because my mom actually came from a very big family, 7 brothers, 7
Wow.
sisters. So a lot of them and their families started to work with us. So, we don't miss out on anything because we're always amongst them, hearing what's happening and all of that. Family time personally with my family, with my 2 boys, they are off, they live in the States and they go to school there. One is about to enter into university. Well, he's pre-university already.
Yes.
The other one is 16 years old. But one of the things that I did while they were growing up, teach them how to do stuff. As simple as make ramen or as simple as put stuff in the microwave, hot it up, that kind of stuff. Teach them how to do laundry. That was something I wanted to make sure I was giving out to my boys because, some people they say, oh, you give us a boy and he know to do nothing and we have to do everything. You know how some women
How
can
things
be
change
now.
now.
Exactly.
Everything changed. Look.
So it's 50-50.
Yeah.
So both my boys, they can do their own laundry. They can make sure they have something to eat. They can do their groceries. They can do everything. And that was something I had to make sure was something that they knew how to do in this time and age, right? With my husband, he also has a business of his own. And our time does not lock off. We are constantly on the clock. The thing is, when I am finished working I get to work at 6 in the morning. I start my day at 4 in the morning and I get to work at 6. I'm there before all my employees. I have everything up. I have all the cameras up. I'm watching to make sure everything is okay. I start my day out. So from the time 8 o'clock hits, I know that it is time to get everybody on the ball rolling. So I don't have a downtime. And one of the good things is my husband is also an entrepreneur. He started a business. He used to work for someone for 22 years. And 2 years ago, he said, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I need to do something on my own. And he started a business, racking system, kind of into our business as well, because he helps me as well.
You bit him with the bug.
Yeah, I did. Because it really, what he was doing was taking all of his time, all of his efforts, everything,
Investment in others.
and putting it into somebody else's pocket.
Yeah.
And that is the way it really is. You're a slave to a salary when you are not an entrepreneur. And you want to be able to say, I want that freedom. I want to be able to work my own time. I want to be able to have my own success. And I put 10 hours out, let that 10 hours come back for me. I don't want that 10 hours to go in somebody else's pocket. And I know and you don't even get a 2% out of what is going in their pocket. Right? And that is something that was important to him to make sure that he was set. One of the good things is he's my second husband. So one of the good things about him, he doesn't have any kids, but he grew up with my kids. Since my kids were small, we were together, and he grew up with these kids. And he said, you know, I don't want to have to leave something or work my tail off until I'm 60, and then I have to walk away and do what? Hope that I have enough money in my bank account to do a retirement for myself or to do a vacation for myself. You don't want that. You want to be able to say, I worked and I have something to show for it. And when you do that, the downside to that is you have to take all your time now. So you had to forget about personal life. You had to forget about family time. You had to forget about taking off the phone and all of that. You have to forget about all of that because that is part of it. That is what you are working towards to make sure that you have something in that bank account to show for what you have done for the past 60 or 65, I believe, is retirement time, right? And that is what he ended up doing. And now it has been fruitful, thank God. But he works hard. And one of the good things is he has social media. So social media is a very big part of his business as well, our business as well, your business when you start one on your own. Social media is the way to go. I will never discourage anybody against that. Social media, advertising, anything. One of our things when there wasn't social media was TV, right?
Yeah.
So when we had Sprangalang do our ad, which everybody knows, you know, if it have anything, come out. Now, up to this day, I mean, God bless his soul, everybody comes into our stall, I had things to come out. So it is very catchy, you know.
Yeah.
It is something that has stayed with us, and we intend to keep it with us. But that is something that social media is something that I would encourage to do. As far as personal life, I have none. I'm telling you all, I have no personal life. If I go out, I am on my phone because I'm talking to China. When I'm asleep, they're awake. And that is how it is. You're talking to overseas, you're sending out emails. I mean, during the day is so busy, so I don't get to do my emails. So I do my emails in the afternoons. When I get home, I sit with a cup of tea or whatever it is. Thank God my boys are big. I do get the help from my husband. He does do laundry and do groceries and do the cooking and all of that, which I am totally grateful for. Yes, he does. He does. But, you know, that's the next thing. When you're looking for somebody that is compatible with you, you have to make sure that they have the same values as you. And they are willing to work with you. And they are willing. Don't ever, and, you know, ladies, guys, don't ever settle. I don't settle. I make sure I am not looking for somebody who's wealthy. I'm not looking for somebody, I mean, all of that would be perks, yeah, no problem. But you want to be able to have a conversation with that person to be on your level, that person to know exactly what you are thinking even before you think it. Because having a life partner is very, very important for what you want to become an entrepreneur, because that person has to understand you. Because there are some people who will say, look, you only working, and I want to go and take a drink somewhere. I want to go and do something. That is not compatibility. So when you are out there and you are trying to figure out how you're going to go forward, your home is where you have to start.
Correct.
Because that is how you will go forward. And your training, my training came from my dad and still is coming from my father. Every day he sits me down and he'll say, you're forgetting what I tell you? You don't remember I tell you this? And that is his training, but that is how he is instilling all these things into me to see what a powerful person he is. Also, on the downside, he's a nana, a grandfather, he's a father, and he does have that affectionate side of him as well. But you have to know what your family entails, what your life partner entails, because that is the only way that you could go forward. And home is where it starts.
That's right.
That's
Now-
a support system.
The position that you're all in, all of you, it's one where it is important to have balance, which you all made it very clear. Different backgrounds, and you all are able to keep things going. Now, time is something that is very important. All of you, anyone you could choose, and we could go through with that. How important it is with time management, because many times we see persons will have the vision, they will have that intuition that this is something that I know I need to do, but the big word, procrastination, that lies, that's like the devil that just on his shoulder, letting you just relax a little bit. Don't worry. Take some time. And time is passing, time is passing. And then you hear sometimes people say, that person stole my idea. But really and truly, there are people maybe thinking the same thing as who acts on it first.
Correct.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So where are we with time in a business? Any of you could start and then you could go.
Time in a business is very important, right? As we say, our business is our jail, because we have to be there all the time. Our business, you have to know what type of business you're in as well. We are in a retail business, right? So we have our 4 locations, and we have trustworthy managers. And might I add, all our managers are all women.
Oh, wow.
All our managers in our 4 stores are all women, right? And none of them, not one of them, has a degree. They all have common sense. They all have been in the business for so many years. They have learned, they have brought themselves out of their little shell, and we have helped to bring them out into what they are today. And time, I feel like I'm in jail with my business, because I have to give all my time to my business. I have to give all my time to my employees. If I have something to do, sometimes I want to eat, and my manager will call and say, I have an issue with an employee and I need to deal with it. I have to put down my food and go and sit down and talk to her, because that is important. My employees is important. My managers are important. So I always take myself and put myself in a back burner. I don't have sick leave. I don't have 2 weeks vacation. I don't have an hour for lunch. I don't have anything. My job is to be there at all time. My job is to be attentive to everyone, my customers, my suppliers, my employees, because if I drop the ball, then everybody suffers. And that is how it works from the top to the bottom. If the top is not doing what they're supposed to do, then the bottom can't function. Right? So that is my input. Time is something that doesn't exist really for me, but for my company.
Yes. Tanika, sorry, you could go ahead. Yes.
I have a different perspective on time. Now, I totally agree, and I could relate to what you're saying with regards to, having a husband who's an entrepreneur, because my husband's also an entrepreneur, right? And he became a full-time entrepreneur way before me. But is that advice that you would have given with ensuring that the person that you're with, you're compatible with them? When, to me, I see it as long as you have that understanding and we can support one another and understand what are the demands in both businesses, because he's in a different field than I am. But we could support each other. Now, what I would do with regards to time, now I forget a lot, so I write a lot. Because of my schedule being so hectic and having so much things happening, I would write. And I would use the apps that our phones come with, and I would start planning. So if someone calls to book an appointment, I book that one time. If somebody calls to cater, I take that one time. But what I do with no apology is take the time that I need. So if I realize that let me just say if we realize that we are in a season, and this season was a really good season, and things we see ourselves being at a financial level where we can say, you know what, this week we can take this week for us and the children, then so be it, with no apology. Now that didn't happen just like that. It would have required a lot of work, a lot of consistency, and pouring into the business. Social media is very, very. You're speaking, and I feel like you're speaking my language, because I take full advantage of all the social media platforms that's available, so that I can market myself and keep a consistent flow going. So if I do need to take some time, it will be not as difficult to do. Because what I realize is that when people see that you have, people are attracted to what they see. If they don't see an activity taking place, then there will be no interest. So you have to keep a constant flow. Now, for me, with all the businesses, I am chief cook and bottle washer. My husband and my children, they are the employees when needed. However, I am the social media, I'm the content creator, everything. And sometimes midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm creating content. Sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm baking. Sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm doing up a syllabus for a class. But when the average person is commuting on a Monday morning at 6 a.m., I can say, you know what, I could sleep in late this morning. Or when I send my kids to school, I could say, okay, Monday is my day off. I think we have to be able to balance, because what we could do if we do not create that balance and really manage our time is we can really train ourselves before it's too late. And then when we shut down, it's harder for us to pick ourselves back up. So I think with time, we have to be a bit selfish when it comes to that. Because as I said, right now we're creating legacy. I mean, sitting here on this platform as women, we are creating a legacy. And what we would want is that when we create that legacy, that we are able to enjoy that when the time comes. So if it is we don't take the necessary time that is needed unapologetically, then what's going to happen when it is we really want to enjoy the fruits of our labor? So that's just my take on that.
Well, from my aspect, I will say time as an entrepreneur. As Whitney said, if you have a business idea, act on it. The business environment is volatile. It changes every day, every hour, especially with the introduction of AI. You have a business idea, act on it. Being an entrepreneur and being entrepreneurially minded, you have to see the opportunities, seek the opportunities, and act on it immediately. You also have to make sure you're upskilled and use that time to invest and expand yourself, expand your business. So you might say you have an idea, well, I'll deal with that next year. That your business idea or product might not even be relevant next year. The greatest teacher was COVID. It changed the business environment immediately. Yeah. So you're an entrepreneur, you want to get into a business, you have a business idea, think about it, you don't have that time. Act on it, on that business idea. You have any idea to expand your business, improve your business, act on it immediately. There are resources out there. For example, there's Netco, there's Export TT, there are other companies that you can do to access your resources. You can research, Google, AI, other business persons, act on it immediately because you don't have time. Yeah?
So I think in terms of time management, I would suggest finding a support system and leaning on that support system as well. I know this isn't the case for everyone, not everyone has, say, a mother who could take care of your kids or a grandfather you could drop your kids by or whatever. But it's important to find your circle and just lean on them as well. In this kind of area that we're in, we would require you guys to give effort to building a business. It takes a lot of effort, and if you don't have any support, then it's going to be difficult. Not impossible, but it's going to be difficult. So build your circle, build that network, and lean on them.
Yeah. So we will give you the opportunity at this time, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any questions at all, feel free to ask. This is a safe space. No question is a dumb question, so don't feel like, somebody asked that already, or you could ask anything. This is a space where you're able to gather information as best as you can. So it seems like we have a lot of business people in here, because I'm seeing it. And I am sure you all may have questions you want answered on how you could maneuver. Now, we will also have an icebreaker coming up shortly where I'm not giving money. We have no gifts to give away, but it's just a nice way of breaking the ice with all of us here this morning. And something that you all need to know as well, that we put history that is part of our culture in Trinidad and Tobago, is the Museum of the Sugar Industry of Trinidad and Tobago. And we want to give you all some quick, little information when it comes to this. Now, the Museum of the Sugar Industry of Trinidad and Tobago was designed and built in Sevilla House in Bridgin Castle in Couva, the heart of the sugar belt of Trinidad. It exhibits and installations commemorate the men, women, and children of the sugarcane era of Trinidad and Tobago, document the history of sugarcane production and development in Trinidad and Tobago. It was a place where persons who could conceptualize, to educate the citizenry and increase awareness about the economic, social, and cultural aspects of sugar production, to act as the starting point for the collection and documentation of artifacts related to the sugar industry in Trinidad and Tobago, and to preserve the site and the history of the site of Sevilla House. Now, the sugarcane industry shaped the landscape, the economy, and the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Much of our development, culture, and wide mix of peoples has had its roots planted deep in the sugarcane fields in the country. The overarching purpose of the Sevilla Sugar Museum is to honor and preserve the memory of the Trinidad and Tobago sugar industry, paying homage to all those who were involved. So just a little bit of history of Trinidad and Tobago, and we just wanted you all to know that fun fact. Now we have the opportunity, the floor is open for you to ask any question. Do we have a mic we could use? Yes. So just raise your hand and we'll bring the mic to you. The gentleman. Oh, you want them to come where? To you? All right, we just need you to go by the plan, by the gentleman. Oh, no problem.
Very loudly.
Okay, but we still need to, could you give him the mic still? For health reasons, he just needs, and then, you could stay.
I want to read this.
Yes, no problem, sir. No problem.
I thought I had to raise this. When you started, you apologized. Good day, sorry. Good morning to everyone. When you started, you said, "Men, I hope you're not offended." And then on the other side of the platform, she said she's teaching men.
Yes.
I immediately wrote in my response, why are there so little of the male sector? Why, if you look at this program, what is missing is the men. I remember when being a secretary and being a cashier used to be a woman's job. You go in the shops now, you see the men doing it, right? The thing has turned around. And one of the problems in our society is our men are not involved in these kinds of programs. And it's a very serious problem because people look at the Ministry of Sports and Community Development as a soft kind of ministry, and the things that women are doing are soft things. And that is a problem. It is a mindset, and it's bad, and that is one of the reasons for so much of our social problems in Trinidad and Tobago. I take the opportunity to congratulate you before I say anything else on this. But I would have liked to see men here. And I have had a background in academia, that's why I didn't want to talk too much, of years. And I retired on the 27th of July. That's the year of the coup. The date of the coup. Right? And I always wanted to be in business, but heavy academic work prevented me. Because my mother and father, both of them, from Grenada, were entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs. My father was masonry, Arazo, and my mother had a small business. And so I grew up in business and kept yearning. But the 24-hour job of teaching in all kinds of institutions at all kinds of levels, you wouldn't believe, and in all kinds of countries, meant that I could never do business because I'm always writing papers, books, delivering lectures, and so on. And now I retired, and I want to do business. And I am feeling as though I have started late because all the pressures of all the time you spent writing and doing this and doing that, and you can't get into the business now because you're young, like me now, you're kind of young,
Yeah.
So I want to really congratulate this. And one more point. I think one of the problems with women, because I help working with a women's organization, strange enough, and one of the problems with business management is people in the society don't know the fundamentals of economics, demand and supply, interest rates, forex, and so on and so on. And they don't know how to do accounting. And I would like to ask your ministry to work on these areas, because without that, you cannot have sustainability. Okay?
All right, thank you, sir. I will start by saying there are men involved in the ministries, right? In this case, it just happened that we have an all-female lineup. But also ask the question, why you think also that we're seeing more and more where positions, as you said, that were more driven for females, and it's in some men there, but any positions that we thought or was for men, the men are not taking anymore. Because we're seeing where the gap is, and this is facts, and I'm sure you've seen it, where the females are becoming more and more educated, where the men are not taking the time, maybe I don't know what is causing it, that where the men are not focusing on developing their skill set. So I'm not sure where things have turned, but I can tell you, in the ministries, the men are there. Yeah, they're there. Yeah, but I mean, in this case, maybe they didn't want to come. Yeah. And that's why I said, and that is why I'm asking you, you need to ask the question to the men in the communities and the men that you're seeing that not showing up. Well, I mean, you said it, I didn't, so I'm just saying. But let's go on to his next question where he was mentioning with the men missing in the business. And I am sure it just seems to be like that, but we have seen the facts where the gap is there, where we're seeing more and more females holding positions, where we, yeah. Yes, and well, directors, don't forget that, and owners. So what are your thoughts on what he said there? One of you could answer, and we'll also speak about the economic side of it of educating our citizens properly about the economics when it comes to business in Trinidad and Tobago?
I would say from our exporters, we do still mostly see male-led companies. So it may seem that female-led is just kind of taken over, but it's mostly still male-led. This is why we do all of these programs. So for example, She Trades Initiative, where we focus on female-led businesses. We give them that extra support because they aren't growing as much as their male-led counterparts. So I think it's more like optics. So when you come to these events, maybe men aren't as interested in sitting down and listening to.
They give the female touch.
I don't know why they don't come, but they are there in the businesses. They are out there.
Yeah. Sharon, I want to throw this to you in particular with what he's saying, because you're involved. You sit in a position as a director and you have to deal with other directors. And I'm sure, I mean, you mentioned that your management team and you're happy that it's female, and it's not because they're female they have the position. You mentioned all the characteristics and what they did, and they may not even have the certificates that you say, the degrees that you mentioned. But where are you when it comes to the men in the business? Because I really want him to understand that they're there. We didn't get rid of them.
No, not at all.
Yeah. They got rid of them. It seems so.
And you have a valid point by saying they got rid of themselves. Because women tend to have a little bit of more, they want to be involved. When they start something, they want to finish it. They want to continue it. They want to improve themselves in it. Women, they have that patience about them. So the girls that I have in all 4 of our stores, it's not that today they came and they became managers. No, they've been there. They started from the bottom and they worked their way all the way to the top. There are men who start at the bottom. This ain't working for me now. Let me go somewhere get bigger money. You understand? Or they don't like how somebody talking to them, or they don't like the job that they have, and or women talking to them, right? And these are some of the reasons why they would just say, I go in somewhere that I can have my man thing with my
ego.
You know, but women tend to say, okay, I started this, I see myself going somewhere here, or maybe they're being encouraged by other people. They're very knowledgeable in what they do. Our business have over maybe more than 10,000 items in my business, because there's a lot of small little things. And to learn every single one of those things takes time. It takes patience. It goes up on YouTube. See what it does. See what that is used for. How many different sizes come in it. What different sizes for what part. Like when you're using staples, you use a different size when you're doing the seats. You use a different size when you're doing couches. Use a different size when you're upholstering a door of a vehicle. So there's a lot of little nitty-gritties. And a lot of men don't like that nitty-gritty, sit down and have to worry about this and study this. And I can talk for my business. My business, I have a lot of women for the simple reason they have patience. And I am a retail business as well. So when I have men on my shop, they get tired fast. When they see a woman taking too long to choose a cloth, and they see a woman taking too long, oh God, that are looking, I can't handle that. So they will send a girl now, because the girl would say, okay, this will match nicely with that, and this would go with that. So in my business, men really don't, they don't last long in my business. Yeah.
In your field. Now, quickly, because we have someone else who's going to ask a question, I will pose this to Anisha. Economic education. He spoke about that.
Well, from my experience, that is a problem. Persons operate business, but they don't know if their business is profitable. They don't know how much money they're making. So you start a business and you just sell. You sell a service, but you're not doing the everyday accounting to know, okay, I sell 10 items, I made $10, my expenses is $2, my profit is $8. So when they come to us, we have to sit down and they will go through what is your daily sales, what is the daily expenses, and some people don't even know that the amount of profit that they're making for their business. Sometimes their business is making a loss.
Correct.
They think they are profitable, but you're able to probably pay expenses, but your business is not profitable. So with us, we have record keeping and cash management, which we offer because that is a problem. I see it every day. We operate our business, but we don't know how to do the accounting. We don't know how to save. We don't know how to deposit our money in our bank accounts. We have the money, we spend it back. So we don't know. We made $100 today, $200 tomorrow. So what we advise, you deposit your money, your sales or your whatever your sales is, you deposit it every day. You take account of your expenses. You subtract the two. I know is my business profitable. All right. So that is, as you said, I support that is an issue with our business owners right now.
Yes.
If I could just interject one thing with that is, my dad always says that if you can handle small money, you can handle big money.
That's right.
Right? So once you learn how to manage your small little money in your pocket, trust me, you will be able to handle big money.
Because we have seen persons who,
Yes.
when they get the big money, they wonder
don't know.
where all the money
Squander
gone. Yeah, because
Yes.
they weren't able to
Correct.
manage it. So we have a young
Hi,
lady.
morning, everyone. Ms. Grant, my question comes to you because of the department in which you work in. As an entrepreneur, why is it important to upskill? And also to Ms. Baldio, and you as well, the courses, especially in relation to business advisory, does it come with a course in your organization?
Yes, with the business advisory, it's 1 hour sessions, and it's $100 that you pay. You deposit it in a bank account. You can visit any one of our 5 branches, and you schedule an appointment. You can do it in-house, or you can do it virtually with our business advisors. The training courses that we offer, it's online as well. It's virtual. And what was the other question? Yes, it's important because as you see in the business world, the business environment, it's changing every day. So you have to make sure you upskill so you stay one step ahead of what is happening. You have to stay one step ahead of your competitors. It's also important to upskill so you can improve the products and services that you have, know different processes, learn different new ways to do things so you can be more efficient, probably reduce costs, also stay one step ahead of your competitors. So even on a personal basis, it's important for you to learn new things, new ways to invest in your business, learn what is happening out there so you can make better decisions in your business. Upgrade yourself as a leader to know how to deal with your employees, deal with the problems that you may be experiencing in your business. And the only way you will know how to do that is to learn, to study, and research. Right?
Hi, morning again, everyone. My name is Farisha, and I represent the Las Lomas number 2 Women's Group. My question is to Ms. Faya Ramdat. You haven't been involved in all the CP classes. What advice can you give to someone who is considering starting a business now?
What I would say is take full advantage of what the program brings. The level of knowledge that is received from the skills training program that is free to the public, if you have to pay that kind of money outside, you would be paying a lot. And my thing is, you cannot get into something unless you are knowledgeable about it, right? Now, the gentleman said, he retired and he's feeling as if he's too old to do it, right? Now, my thing is, you're never too old to learn. And it's never too late to start anything. Anything could be successful. I mean, we heard about these stories of Kentucky Fried Chicken and all these well-established businesses. They did not start in their 20s and their 30s. They started at a very mature age. My thing is put your whole heart in it. Do it to the best of your ability. If it is, you have to find a niche as to where you, I believe we were all born with a gift or a skill. And because we have a program that is available to us, we can now take advantage of sharpening the edges of that skill or that gift, that when we are ready to get into entrepreneurship, or businesses or business ownership, you're now ready. So use it as a foundation, as a stepping stone to help you become successful as a business owner.
What I would like to see happening is, although everything is social media now, there are some folks who are not onto social media. So having done these classes, programs, people like Nedco could probably go into some of these communities and advise these ladies. And on our case, like our group, we have done lots of these classes, and there are some of them who are not social media ready.
Right.
So probably if they can come into the community and advise them of all the various stuff that they can access to do a business would be good.
I think
Thank you.
also too that there are persons, because social media has become a huge business for persons who are now in a position where, like you said, some persons in your community, it may be difficult for them to know how to use a device, what to do, how to edit. You could hire a person. There are young people this is actually, you believe, they are making money off of helping businesses with social media because that's what they do. They are content creators. And I'm not just saying the ones who you may see as the personality. There are those who are behind the scenes who they are helping build brands through social media. So that could also be a way, I guess, you all could assist persons in the field to give them contact to them, because that's how it is growing. And social media is very important, and you are correct.
And even though we focus on social media, don't discount the good old word of mouth marketing, a flyer. You
Or radio.
You can still do your
You can
call
make
cards,
radio
you have flyers,
works.
you can put out in your area. And your product that you offer and your service speaks for itself. Because if I go to you and I have a good experience, I will tell somebody, and that's the best way to network, is word of mouth, somebody having the best experience for you. So if right now you don't have the access, you don't know how to use social media, use the good old flyers, good old word of mouth marketing, right? Use your family, use your friends, use your community.
I just want to add to word of mouth. So let me share something that I would have done when I started makeup artistry as a business. I would do a lot of free makeup. I would look for every opportunity, not every job, every opportunity. Every friend, every family, if someone on social media is looking for makeup artists to render their services for a casting call or for a fashion show, because especially like UTT, that's something I would have done. You know, when the students have to put on their show and they have to present it to all these designers as a part of their exams, they cannot afford to pay people. So I always looked for opportunities instead of looking for the money. And with doing that, it gave an opportunity. It gave me now the platform to market myself, to slip a call card here, slip a flyer, tell you, listen, follow me on social media on Facebook, add me on Facebook, in having conversations. So just to add to, sometimes we could go back to the old school way. It's not always about making money when you start as a business owner. If it is you're into candles, you're into catering, give samples, let people test out your product. You might see it as a loss, but it's actually an investment that you are making in yourself.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. My name is Vasha Cleaver. And as much as I'm grateful to see that, we're having these discussions on becoming an entrepreneur and being like more social, developing yourself. But my question is that some places, like where I come from, they label us as ghetto youths. And we shouldn't be an entrepreneur in some person's eye. Are we going to be like encouraging these ghetto youths to break this stigma? Like myself, I have been stigmatized all my life because of where I'm from. I would love to see that we go into the communities and break this stigma that, a ghetto youth shouldn't be an entrepreneur at all.
I'm happy you would have asked that question, because where I came from, people would refer to that area as ghetto. Now, I was born and raised Lisa's Gardens, Couva. We call it Lisa's Gardens, Couva now. It sounds fancy. But growing up, they would call you a scheme girl. And from it, when they hear you came from the scheme, They stigmatize you
I
immediately.
was the one that came from the savannah.
Right. Now, that does not mean that where you came from defines who you are. You don't have to justify the stigma that's on you. Some of our greatest leaders, some of our most established and accomplished business owners came from these areas. They came from Belmont, they came from Laventille, they came from Couva, they came from Pleasantville, they came from all these areas, but that does not mean that you would allow that stigma to define the person that you are or you are meant to become.
I think you need to remove the ghetto youth now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're leaving it on you.
I am still labeled as a ghetto youth
No,
because
no, no.
of where I'm from.
No, hear what I'm telling you. Right? Because you're well spoken and I hear the labels. I don't like it.
It's the
right?
stigma. We need
Yeah.
to break the stigma.
And we know that there are
because
people
there are
who-
lots of young people like myself trying to break the stigma themselves and being
Yeah.
weak.
But here what I'm going to tell you, you can't change the minds of people. It will always be what it is. But your tongue is powerful. The one's telling you is stop saying, I am a ghetto youth. And I come from a ghetto community. You came from a community.
Yeah.
You're standing here taking in knowledge. So what you need to do is what is the next step for me to achieve XYZ goal? Remove that ghetto mentality thinking that
Others
it
can
may.
say it, but we have
Yeah,
to
no,
remove it.
remove
Yes,
it,
we
remove
will.
it. Yeah, remove it because that does not define who you are, right? So that's all I'm saying. Just remove that, and the sky's the limit. Yeah,
Yeah.
It ends with us, you know.
yeah.
It ends with us.
Definitely. To the gentleman.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, so before I make or ask the question, I wrote here in my evaluation already that the entire session this morning, it was well put together, except for a former speaker that mentioned about finances and economics and so on. So I would suggest in making the commendation that the session with the businesswoman, and then we have Netco, and then we have the export part of the whole business entrepreneurship, and now understanding the objective of community voices, I would suggest that finances and employment issues like registering MPOs and NIS and those kind of stuff be part, as I will suggest, be part of the other sessions in the future.
Yeah.
The question is to the Netco personnel, Ms. Anisha.
Anisha.
As it relates to what support exists to help increase chances of success for a community-based business?
Well, as I said before, we have different avenues that we take. If you're looking for funding, we have that financial part of it where you can get a loan from us. We are also currently processing grants. The Ministry of Youth is using Netco to process grants. You can check out that as well. We have the training and development part of it where we do programs each month virtually. You can also come to us if you have a community group. We can also do a specialized training for your community groups. For instance, if they want assistance in record keeping or cash management, marketing their business, we have that as well. And we also have business advisors. So whatever stage you are at your business, you have a business idea and you don't know what is the next step, you can have a session with your business advisor and they would guide you. You can have more than one sessions with them as well. They will help you network. They will help you find a mentor. So Netco has all those aspects. We also have an incubation program as well that it's a 6-month program where they take you from idea to reality. So you have the mentorship, you have coaching, you have one-on-one training, but it requires you as an entrepreneur to put out that time out of your day to receive that help, right? So any aspect, even if you have an idea and you want to come into the branch, we would guide you. But we have, even though we don't have business advisors on spot, we have loans officers that are also trained to give you some guidance.
Is that free?
Yes, that's free.
Thank
but it may
you.
not be in depth as a business advisor.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. And we will touch on, when we finish the questions, the finances, because I think that is something that we need to touch on.
Hi, my name is Makael Sharp. I come from Tunapuna. What I always wanted to ask, is there a way for entrepreneurs to, if they have an idea, to ask the government. I think it's public-private business with the government. If the government get involved in your business and they could profit as well and you could benefit as well.
Okay.
So is there an area where the government has that?
I'm not sure. More than most times they would offer, for instance, grant funding, like what they are offering now, or training through NETCO or any other institution. For example, Export TT will offer training through that way, but it may not be for them to partner with you. Right? But through my ministry, I'm not sure if there are any other opportunities in other ministries for that, but from my knowledge, they will give you training or loans or grant funding.
Yeah, I think what you're asking to the question, if you have a product
that
you want the government in this case,
to finance,
so not just finance, but for you to give your skill set to the state on a contract.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm assuming
well, to me, that depends on what is your business and what ministry you are looking for. So if it's let's say you have a contract probably to help with roof paving, you'll have a particular ministry you will have to access for that help. So to me, it's depending on what business you have, what service you have to offer, so you can research to see what ministry would best help you in that regard. Because each ministry will have a different service that they would provide. So we are under Ministry of Youth, so you'll find we would be more focused to youth financing, youth development, and like currently.
Yeah. I hope that helps because they do have, you could go in the ministries where they contract first, but you have to give all the information.
Right.
You're registered business.
And all of
that. To show, and then they will do I guess they will decide on who is the best person and they choose, and then you get the contract. But you have to go into the ministries to be online. All the ministries have it, and especially with your skill set, I'm not sure what it is, and then see if they're looking for persons to contract. So then that's where you start the business link there.
Okay.
To move forward. I hope that helps.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And through my agency as well, we do offer grants. So for different things. So for example, if you're looking for machinery to start your business, let's say you're into agro-processing and you need a piece of machinery, we can provide a grant that's going to assist you with that. Obviously, there is an application process for the grant. But we offer things like co-financing, so that would be 50% towards the cost of, so for example, developing a label for your product. If you want to export abroad, you need to change anything on the label, you need to get certified, you need to get tested. These are things that we can assist with financially. And it's a grant, it's not a loan. So you don't need to pay it back. You just need to come in, and once you qualify, we can provide you with that grant.
Because I put it towards Kariri, but Kariri, it dealt with something different. When I do up the application, there was a part that didn't apply to me. And I was so close to completing the form, and then it just didn't apply to me. But I saw something, but when I want to get in contact with the person, it's so much different, various people to promote to, and this person not there, and so I couldn't really get the person who really responsible for what I have to
So can I ask
provide.
what do you do?
So basically, I saw an idea. It's not what I do. I saw an idea. I mean, the business is already evolved around the world, so I want to bring something here.
Okay.
All right. So it's already profitable. It's already proven.
When we're finished, because I realize you're talking in code, so you keep it yourself, which is good.
Yeah.
Which is good. It's nothing wrong with that because you understand what you're trying to do.
So
and
it's
the idea, but you just need to start. I think you have the two ladies here. We have Anissa and we also have Kanika, my apologies, who will guide you accordingly. So speak with them.
All right.
And you could get the information to start. Yeah? So you wouldn't get the ring around, so you could just, bring it in.
That would be helpful.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. We have the young lady. Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning. My name is Nalia. I heard that you spoke about youth. I am 19 years of age, so I would be speaking on behalf of youth. I heard earlier about the female sector and that stigmatism. Honestly, on my behalf of being a young girl growing up, I would not say I had any challenges. My mom is right there. She's a single parent. My thing is, right, coming out of school and getting through that stigmatism as a woman, reaching out there, there's two things I have. First and foremost, I'm a Muslim. So when I go into places, when I go with my hijab, I get stigmatized. That alone, I went for a job interview. Immediately, sits, face turned, like if I was causing an issue. And now I am not somebody to stay quiet. So I ask, what was the problem? The problem is not anything. The problem is not this. No, at the end of the day, my voice matters. And I understand that I'm not going to stay quiet. So my thing is that what is your approach as a woman getting into a business, whether you want to start it on your own or whether you want to venture into different aspects of your life, to be able to combat with that? How do you deal with that on an intrapersonal level as well as deal with it on a professional level to not offend the person across the table?
Okay, girl.
So, business is not for the weak. I'll start off with that. When you are in business, you're going to be criticized, you're going to be yelled at, you're going to be cussed at. They are going to tell you all kind of things, right? If they see you with something nice on, they don't know how you get it, but oh, you're taking away money and it's not for the weak. And when you are going into something, for that young lady that was talking about stigmatism as well, you have to go in with your mind. You have to go in with, I am going to do this. I am going to make a difference. I am not going to listen to all the jargon that is happening around me, right? When you make up your mind as a young lady, a young man, anybody, you have to follow through. And you have to find out firstly, like I said, when I go into meetings, I make sure and I do my homework. This is what I am going to talk about. This is what is being posed to me to speak about. But also be respectful. Don't disrespect anyone. But make up your mind and go in there with all that you have. And that is, like they say, the devil come in fair. And when you go in there, that might be the first thing saying, oh, well, the devil come in for me today. But you have to make sure that you are prepared for the devil. Right? And again, I'm going to say it, business is not for the weak. I have a lot of customers who's come at me hard, right? Cuss me, tell me all kind of thing. Men are usually the one who comes at me because they think I'm not going to stand up for myself, but they think I don't know what I'm talking about.
They feel threatened.
Correct. And I'm not going to let them defeat me because I know what I'm about. And I know how I know my product. I know what I am selling you. I am sitting here researching it, make sure that this is what you need. That I am making sure that I am protecting myself. Right? And when they come at me and they cuss me and they tell me all these different things, I have to take it. But it's not going in here and staying in here. Only what is profitable to me will stay in here. Other than that, I just water on your back.
And I completely agree. I have another question that is direct. I'm sorry, I forgot all the names already. But with regards to the accounts, I did accounts in school, right? With regards to accounts, one thing I would like to see is the fact that not only as a country, not a bad mouth the country, but not only as a country can we improve in our accounts, our economical structure is at a low basis. If you look at how we work on benefiting that of another country, another outside opportunity, as opposed to benefiting that which is within our own. So I know that you have mentioned that you are someone of trade and stock. I want to know what stock influences a lot of crypto getting involved in that. How would that affect the way that the country would work in times to come, as well as legal advice or monetary advice, I should ask from you, on ways that we could better help the youth understand their ways around their monetary finances?
Sharon, I think you need to hire this girl, because listen to me. I am
She's
just
on track. She's on track.
Yeah.
I'm looking for work.
Ladies.
So in terms of the cryptocurrency, it is something that a lot of persons operate in that sphere, but isn't something that is as widely accepted as yet. So for our potential buyers, anybody that we bring into the country, they're not looking to pay you in cryptocurrency, they're not looking to receive cryptocurrency either. So this isn't something we focus on as yet. As it becomes more established, I think we could look at maybe doing like a training program in it. But for now, we still deal with the hard currency.
You know, to answer that question as well, you have to understand your country's economic surroundings, right? Now, you have to also understand that when you get into business like this is a business all by itself. Stock, crypto, that is a business all by itself. And you have to understand, and it's very important when you're talking about financing, that you know how the banks work, how central bank work, what are the funds that is allocated, who are the different people in the game, like such people like DFL, all these different institutions that also supply the bank, that you have to know how it works. And one of the good things we have is Google, right? And when you want to know about crypto and you want to know about all these different things, Google it. It's going to be very self-explanatory. It takes a little bit of time, but Google it, but understand your country's finances. That is very important. A lot of people want to talk about Forex and, the bank can give it. The bank is allowed. The problem that we have is that there's a certain amount of money that is allotted to Trinidad, certain amount of times for the year. And the banks are given it. A particular government that we had has said that it has to be divided equally amongst all the institutions. This is the reason why that we have this Forex problem. Because some, like we have Republic Bank who has a wider customer base, a wider reach, right? But then you have Scotiabank who have a smaller reach. You have RBC who's a smaller reach. But guess what? Everybody getting an equal share. And this is where we come into a problem. Because now, when you say, okay, well, I'm going to jump out of Republic and go somewhere, that is consequences. Right? So again, learning your country's economic status and what is allotted to you and what you could get into and what is for you is important.
Before I leave, I just have one more thing to say. I'm so sorry. But at a young age, my mother always told me not to be afraid to make my own decisions. That is why I'm able to stand on my own 2 feet and to speak the way that I speak, because of the fact that she always allowed me to make my own decisions from at a young age and discover things from at a really young age. And one thing that I've always been saying to myself, if I ever got the opportunity to bring across to you, is that as a ministry, I would like to put it out there that the ethical practice of money is also important for people to understand. Because once you don't have embedded in yourself an ethical practice, you don't know how to better manage a business, how to operate a business. Because of that improper conduct within a business, in the interpersonal aspect of your business, I believe that it wouldn't work on an outward. It would prove to yourself that your community within is not acting ethically. It would not working together. So I think that if there's possibly an opportunity for a course or something, just as finances is taught, mathematically, it could be in theory, how money works. Why does it work that way? Why do we put things in place for it to be done a certain way? That way we better understand. We get those answers. Why? How? What? Where? Where is it going? At the end of the day, we all know what the budget comes from. I'm sure we all are aware that, let's say, for example, speaking off the top of my head, 2 billion is usually allocated for the agricultural sector, even though we have land across. We are an island. We have lands all across that we could use to better accommodate the food sector rather than importing those goods from out. That would also do with the inflation rates with regards to the borders and so on and so forth. I think if we better understand, or there's a program in place to better understand the ethical process of money, we have that in the youths instilled from a young age that, hey, I have $1, like you said, small money, big money. From a young age, we know, hey, my money matter, no matter if it's $1. Because I know for a fact, if I go in negotiate and I don't have $1, they might give me my thing, you know.
Yeah.
They're not giving me at all. So I understand the value of it and why it has a value in it to begin with. Not because she told me or because I just heard a seminar. I fully grasp what I'm getting at. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That's exactly what the gentleman was saying with the economics and having educated society about our economic environment in Trinidad and Tobago. And many times we are lost in understanding, what to do, how to operate, how to manage our money, and that ethical value attached to money. Because many times you see persons, I say, don't have the respect for the money. It's not worshiping the money, because money will come. It's just what we do with it when we receive it to make it grow.
You have to spend wisely.
Yeah?
Yes.
Is that it? Is that it? Or we have, okay. We'll take this final one and then we will do
Well, as she touched on the cryptocurrency, from my personal experience, Trinidad economy is not in a position to understand that illusion on a screen. So until they do, I think we should leave that out of it. I have accounts right now with $8,000 and $9,000 I can't withdraw from, so we don't understand it. Leave that there.
Okay. Well, I mean, we're hearing from the people their thoughts on it. I have a little icebreaker before we wrap things up, and you will be given the opportunity to speak with some of our guests here this afternoon, as we now entered into the afternoon period. So I'm going to start on this side quickly. It's fun. Don't worry. It's nothing crazy. Very simple. I'm going to ask you all to choose one and do not scream out the answer, okay? Politics, anybody here? Politics, geography, sports, and culture. And we have history. Choose one. Politics? Okay. I was a former member of parliament, Minister of National Security, and acted as a prime minister. Who am I? Don't blurt out the answer, anyone. Repeat it again. I was a former member of parliament, Minister of National Security, and acted as a prime minister. Who am I? Former. No longer. On this side. Keep it on this side, the left. Who's this? Correct. Jack Warner. That is correct. You can give them a hand. I told you all I have no money and no gifts. So you can give them a hand. Let's try on this side. Politics, geography, sports and culture, and history.
I gave away the answer.
Anybody?
Sorry.
I'm going to give you one. Since she's very vocal, that young lady there. Let me see. You all don't blurt out the answer. It is known for its natural habitat of Trinidad, natural bird, and its hidden gem of the ecotourism. Who am I? I'm repeating it again. It is known for its natural habitat of Trinidad national bird, and it's a hidden gem for ecotourism. Who am I?
The Caroni Bird Sanctuary.
Oh my goodness. If I had 10,000, I'll give you no. If you say you have 9,000, you can't use. So I'm bringing it now to my lovely panelists now. Yes. You put all of you on like, yeah. We put you all on the spot here. Politics, geography, sports and culture, history. Geography? Okay. Hold on. Okay. I'm a sacred site. I can float while I pray. Many visitors come to see me. What am I and where am I located?
Waterloo cremation.
Y'all,
Waterloo cremation
what?
site.
but
Yes.
but both of you are
That's
saying it
it,
together.
yeah.
You can say
The
it.
Waterloo temple. I don't know the full name for it.
So give me the first, the Waterloo.
Waterloo.
So that is the temple in the sea.
Temple in the sea, yes.
Yes, Waterloo. A job you gave us the location. That's fine. Sherry, are you ready? Okay. Politics, geography, sports and culture, and we have history.
Politics.
Politics. Okay. Give you an easy one.
Yeah.
You're from the south central side?
Central.
Central. All right. What took place in 1990 to allow Shogunas to have a great autonomy, improved local administration, and more control over its municipal affairs? What changed the name of Shogunas? Well, not the actual name, but we refer it to as a
Borough.
Good. I will come and take a look.
The borough.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I know you all love the panelists, and I realize that. Okay. So we have Anisha. Yes. Anisha, politics. We have geography, also sports, culture, and history.
Geography. Let me try geography.
Geography. Okay.
Something easy.
Not hard like mine.
All right. Oh gosh. Ooh, I should have chosen something else. I don't know. Maybe you'll try. Okay. It was once the headquarters of all Trinidad Sugar Estate and Factory Workers Trade Union, founded by Tubal Uriah Buzz Butler. Who am I and where am I located? I'll make it easy for you. So I'll give you a landmark. There's a stadium named after Atto Bolden. What area?
Hoover. Hoover.
Yes, correct. It's just I see I tried. Okay. But just the Renzi complex in Hoover, just to be clear. Right? So we have one more. If you're ready. Sports, culture, history, politics, geography.
I hope I don't embarrass myself, but I'll take sports and culture.
Oh, okay. Let's try. Okay. Which Trinidadian soca artist? Well, I said sports, right?
Sport and culture.
So you'll take the culture?
Yeah.
Okay. Which Trinidadian soca artist who resides in Caroni is known for her hits or hit songs and contributions to the genre and can be associated with the color blue?
Cherry Lion.
Oh my goodness. Congratulations. Y'all put your hands together for our esteemed panelists this morning. And come on, y'all. Put your hands together. One better than that. We'd like to thank them for being here with us this morning and, taking time to contribute to what they're trying to do at the ministry and make things a bit easier when it comes to moving forward as a business owner, entrepreneur, and understanding the business more. So once again, please put your hands together for Sherian Bismarck.
Thank you.
Kania Baldio. Anisha Grant Moran. And Sophia Ramda. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our time where we wrap things up. We thank you so much for being here with us this morning into this afternoon. I hope that you're able to at least learn something here today. We always learn every single day, regardless of age. We will continuously learn as we go along through life, and it's what we do with it when we move forward. We thank you once again, and we thank the ministry for making this possible. This is all about the voices of the community, and we're definitely doing that here. Thank you once again, and God bless.
Thank you.